Ripple making some massive moves. And at the end of this video today, I'm going to show you something really weird that happened to me on TikTok live yesterday. And then when I woke up this morning, you're not going to believe what they added to the report. Buckle up and hang on for the ride.
I gotta give in now, I gotta live this now. I be gonna be man, I'ma kill this stuff real quick. I'ma go take it to town, cause I gotta be that king in the ring. And I'm not getting mad when I'm back with the whip, cause I am just up on the journey. You just know that I'm just going insane.
Warriors rise. Grand rising. Good evening, warriors all over the world. My name is Coach JV. My mission on this channel is to help you with information to help you make an informed decision. I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. I'm just documenting my journey into the quantum financial system. And in this video, at the end, I'm going to show you, number one, how I can help you in 2023 take advantage of the biggest shift in generational wealth and the biggest shift in our consciousness in human history. Number two, I'm going to show you something crazy that happened while I was on a TikTok live yesterday. And when I woke up this morning, I woke up very early, and what they added to the report. You can make informed decisions. I'd love to hear your comments down below. Again, I wouldn't trust a word I say, just trust the feeling and vibration it creates in your body and act accordingly. Just sharing information that you have access to. Two things. Ken Mack and I will be going live this afternoon. And then tomorrow's video, I highly recommend you dive into, because I'm going to work to make the complex simple. There's definitely something weird happening in our banking system. Okay, we've been talking about this since 2020 when they called me the tinfoil hat guy, and now it is here. And tomorrow, I'm going to break down what I see happening in the banking system. I'm going to break down the changes, and I'm going to try to present as much facts, figures, numbers, logic as I can so you can see that your monetary system is about to get flipped upside down. So let's dive right into it. So this is all of our YouTubers and TikTokers, and this is a big move, guys. Monica Long, okay? So I'm going to read her tweet here, and then we're going to dive into Monica Long. But I want to give credit where credit was due. Hold on one second. One of my brothers out there in the TikTok space, he's absolutely amazing. I just wanted to, his TikTok is Awaken You Within, okay? It's my brother out here. So he did a TikTok video that was sent to me, and he made a really good point. All these big moves happening within America, but we have a case against Ripple versus the SEC, okay? Why wouldn't Ripple move? Why they opened up shop in Canada? Why wouldn't they go? He said, why wouldn't they go out to Dubai? Why wouldn't they have moved out the US by now? Think about that for just a moment. This was set up to bring in new regulation, family. There is zero reason, and I'm going to show you why. There is zero reason why they should be going after Ripple. There's zero reason. Ripple was communicating with them since their inception, trying to figure out if they were doing it correctly, and they were a regulated institution. But the SEC sues the regulated institution, has a case going on for over 2 years. When they take swift action on FTX, they take swift action on Kim Kardashian, they take swift action on all these other people. But this case is going forever, and it's just being dragged out. There's many things happening. There's a shift in your monetary system. And the reason why Ripple is going nowhere, in my opinion, and he stated it very, very well, is because it's all by design, okay? But this is a big move. So Monica Long has been with Ripple since 2013. She's a beast, and I'm going to show you some stuff with her. Over half my professional career has been in crypto, and more importantly at Ripple. I'm incredibly honored and ready to hit the ground running as the president. So they made her the president of Ripple. Thank you, Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson, for the opportunity of a lifetime. So Monica Long was named the president of Ripple. So she says, coming off our strongest year yet, Monica is one of the driving forces behind and why we have been successful as we are today. Despite multiple crypto winners and headwinds in the industry, she joined Ripple in 2013 when the company had only 10 employees. At the time, when crypto was barely a blip on the radar, she was in the trenches establishing Ripple and responsible leader in the crypto industry, working with regulators and in evangelizing the benefits of utility in crypto, as well as earning the trust of the financial institutions globally. Okay. So it says, not long ago, it was unheard for an enterprise and financial institution to use crypto in their tech stack. Under Monica's leadership and working alongside engineers and product, her team helped launch on-demand liquidity. So she was responsible for launching ODL, one of the industry's first enterprise crypto solutions to use crypto for cross-border payments, transactions, and Ripple's flagship product in 2018. Today, ODL is available in nearly 40 payout markets, and last year, approximately 60% of payments over RippleNet were sent through ODL. In other words, over half of the payments are now using XRP for cross-border transactions. Ripple has processed 30 billion worth of value and 20 million transactions since RippleNet was first launched. Does that sound like a security to you? Why haven't they left America? There's something going on, okay? They used Ripple in order to regulate the space so that they could create some validity. Ripple, XLM, all the ISO tokens will be part of the banking system. And I'm going to show you the switch in the banking system tomorrow. Please dive into the video tomorrow, okay? As we move forward a little bit, and another thing I wanted to bring up and kind of give you a little bit deeper, we know this stuff, we have to repeat the same thing so they can get ingrained in our subconscious mind. We know that Ripple in 2021 appointed former U.S. Treasury of the United States, Rosie Rios, to the board of directors, and Christine Campbell as a CFO. So these people are heavy hitters. And as he stated, is why the hell would Rosie Rios, the former head of the Treasury, who signed the last $100 bill and has been said, we've played videos that said, I am responsible for bringing in the new currency, is now on the board of directors for Ripple. And listen to what she has to say about the future of money.
What I like to talk about is really kind of this intersection between government and innovation. Certainly coming from the Bay Area, born and raised in Silicon Valley, I've seen a lot of change over time. And what I love is the conversation is really starting to happen in a constructive way where I think we as a region, we as a country, and perhaps we as a globe can really think about the future of fintech and who the stakeholders are and how we can make this effective for everyone. So when you think about growth, it's not just kind of GDP growth, which of course is a big part of the economy, but it's also where new growth comes from. And that usually comes from, certainly lately, in technology and innovation. So I think the benefit of why business and government should be working together is, again, providing that level of certainty for further expansion, further growth, and certainly more jobs for the economy. So blockchain is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. And so it's not just how to facilitate commerce. There are other applications, whether it's NFTs, whether it's selling real estate, whether it's any type of financial ledger that can be recorded for posterity's sake. This is here to stay. And it's important and incumbent upon the government at every level, whether it's local, whether it's state, whether it's national, to really give some thought as to how those applications are going to benefit them and benefit everyone. But I think what's most important is, what are those guardrails? What are those tracks that we can lay down in order to move forward in a way that really blazes the trail for future growth and future opportunities that we don't even know are there yet?
Okay. So what are the guardrails? The former Treasury of the U.S. Treasury is on the board of directors. We have people on their board of directors that came from the government spaces, are highly connected officials. And again, why haven't they left America? Think about that, okay? Think about that for just a moment. Now, here's Brad Garlinghouse. So you got Monica Long, who's responsible for bringing in ODL, right? She's been working with banks since 2013. Ripple is rapidly growing. They're hiring when everybody else is laying off. Their balance sheets are they're impeccable. They have capital, okay? But they're growing, and every other cryptocurrency, not every other one, excuse me, most cryptocurrencies are collapsing right now. So they have the former Treasury of the United States on the board of directors. She says blockchain is here to stay. The freight train has left the building. And then here's Brad Garlinghouse at Davos, when last year all these crypto companies were invited. All these crypto companies were there. But this year, they're having the most cryptocurrency panels, but only a couple cryptocurrencies are there. And I explained that to you guys. Circle, connected to BlackRock, which is connected to Aladdin, which Aladdin is connected to Coinbase. Larry Fink, the CFO, is on the board of trustees for the World Economic Forum to move their mission forward. And here's Brad Garlinghouse sitting in the lion's den with these regulators taking punches. And so let's listen to what he has to say once again so that we can ingrain this in our subconscious mind.
All these kinds of things. And the business is global in nature.
Mm-hmm.
many of these crypto assets are offered from places that I would call sunny places for shady people.
Okay, so I wanted you guys to hear that part. I forgot that I put this in here. So he says, most of so this is a regulator in another country. He says, sunny places for shady people. So they're really pointing out FTX, the crypto fraud, but Brad Garlinghouse is. So why would they have Brad Garlinghouse sitting on a panel with these regulators? And he talks about FTX, right? A sunny place for shady people. But they let Brad Garlinghouse sit on the panel that's being sued by the SEC. Let this sink in. The SEC met with FTX 6 months before and did nothing. But Brad Garlinghouse is sitting on a panel at the World Economic Forum with regulators. Let that sink in for just a moment.
Could you give an example?
Well, I think we all know the kind of locations that we're talking about. So we need to have a global framework to regulate this. It doesn't make sense to just have national approaches. I think this is truly global.
Okay, so we need to have global framework. And then Brad Garlinghouse is sitting right there that's being sued by the SEC around the Howey test. So guess who's going to create the global framework? Ripple, the company that's going to be that's sued by the SEC, and the case settlement is going to be the new crypto regulation for the industry.
Global in nature. And so we have been working concretely, and then I'll stop, on updating our regulations on global stablecoin arrangements and coming forward with a new set of recommendations for what we call unbacked crypto assets or other crypto assets. They are now in the open for consultation. So we are looking forward very much for sort of the responses.
It's the first pitch of the panel, people.
Yeah, and
the first pitch of the panel. So first they resist it, then they sue it, then they regulate it. Now we're joining. They're like, come on in.
And we hope to finalize these two sets of recommendations by the summer of this year.
Now, Brad, you have already made the distinction between XRP, the token, and Ripple, the company. You are the only, you're a regulated entity, or you're speaking on behalf of a regulated entity. When folks talk about, these different sorts of provisions, you are the person or your various teams doing the paperwork, providing evidence of baseline trustworthiness. What is
boom? She just said it. You're the regulated industry. He's sitting on the panel. Ripple's being sued by the SEC. They let FTX slide. Fam, it's a setup for regulation. 100% a setup for regulation. Okay. So here's so this was interesting. Okay. So now this is I'm getting really ahead of myself here. Okay. So Monica Long, 3 years ago, before the SEC case was thrown out, she's sitting on Bloomberg Technology. Listen to what she has to say. So I'm going to narrate a little bit of this, and I promise we're going to show you something really cool at the end of this.
Including voices from across the industry that have broader perspectives. For example, many in the industry, like Ripple, we partner with financial institutions versus seeking to replace them. We look at digital currency as a complement to major currencies like the US dollar, again, not a replacement. And many established companies like Ripple have been complying with existing US and international law around anti-money laundering, know your customer, anti-terrorist financing regulation. So it's really about bringing in those other voices from across the industry.
So what kind of regulation would you like to see and would you support?
Something similar to what the US came out with in the 90s for the internet. Regulation that was more principles-based versus very restrictive, that would, really hamper innovation here in the US. So especially, regulation that classifies digital currencies in a way that recognizes their fundamental differences. And again,
boom. This is before they threw out the Ripple versus SEC case. So regulation that would recognize crypto's fundamental differences, the difference between a utility token, a currency, and shit coins. So they are here to bring in regulation. Ripple is going to be one of the largest companies like Google and Amazon, not financial advice. Okay. It's so important that we understand what is actually happening and not be tribal about this stuff, okay? So I highly recommend you watch my YouTube video tomorrow. I'm going to do the best I can to get as much information into that video. But I want to share with you guys how I want to show you this really quickly. So this was interesting. So on my TikTok live yesterday, if you guys see the US debt clock, okay, it's usdebtclock.org, and they pull things from the M2 Money report, I believe. So M2 Money supply is declining year over year. And so if you look right here, it gives you the whole breakdown. The year over year increase in the M2 Money supply is divided by the year. Okay, so all of a sudden yesterday, everything went to zero. Oil went to zero, dollar went to zero, silver went to zero, gold went to zero, based on its ratio to the dollar, okay? But then this morning, this was added on there, crypto. Crypto was added to the debtclock.org. Now, this is a company that's pulling information from the M2 Money reports, okay? But this popped on here. Now, the dollar to crypto is $26.96 to 1. This, I don't think this was not on there yesterday. And now it's on there and has a gold backing to it. Now, I don't know what to think about this, but I wanted to show you that. And I'm going to dive into that on the Ken Mack show today, Coach JV. Okay. So how can we help you, Warriors? So we have an academy where we have over 6,000 warriors, coming up on 6,000 warriors. We've helped worldwide. The Warrior Academy, we're doing 7 days for free in 2023. You have zero excuse not to get involved in the vibe and the tribe. Within here, we have my revolutionary 120-day challenge. Men, you want to get your shit together? This is it. Men all over the world reach out to me on a daily basis. I need help getting my shit together. There's your plan right there. 120-day challenge. I take you step by step how I rewired my subconscious mind, fitness, mindset, everything to get your shit together and get prepared for the biggest recession in human history. We have all kinds of groups: crypto, mindset, health and fitness, business, day trading. And we have 7 calls per week to include my generational wealth building call. We have courses. We have the money mindset. We have the 5 pillars of wealth. We have everything you need to be successful. When you get in, go right into the 120-day challenge. Laser focus on that, and then go through the process. Okay, it's 7 days for free in 2023. Click the link down below. If you want to apply for private coaching with me, you can click the link down below as well. Only apply for that if you're serious. One of my team members is going to take the time to call you. May take a bit. We have close to 300 calls to make to qualify to see if you're fit for the private coaching. It's a high intense, high accountability 4-month coaching program. Okay, but get into the community. 7 days free for 2023. Dive into it. But if you want to be guided through the 120-day challenge, guided through the wealth building part, guided through the budgeting part and the mindset part, and we're not giving financial advice. I'm just showing you the blueprint of how I went from where I was to where I'm at today. So click the link down below. We love you guys. We appreciate you. As we always say, it's time. Warriors, get your shit together. Let's go.